Italy's decision to replace its aging Ariete fleet with the KF51 Panther marks the beginning of the largest renewal of the country's armored forces in over 3 decades. The transformation is not merely a procurement exercise, but a structural shift in how the Italian Army intends to operate in an era shaped by high-intensity conflict, autonomous systems, and long-range fires. The Ariete, even in its upgraded AMV configuration, cannot meet the realities of a European battlefield shaped by the lessons of Ukraine, nor can it provide the mobility, protection, and digital integration required for expeditionary operations across the Mediterranean, North Africa, and Eastern Europe. The Panther arrives at a moment when Italy must rebuild its armored branch from the ground up, and it is designed to anchor a new generation of Italian land power. The strategic environment surrounding Italy has shifted sharply. Across Europe, nearly every major continental military is modernizing its armored forces. Germany is introducing the Leopard 2A8 and preparing for the next iteration of the MGCS program. France is updating the Leclerc XLR. Poland is building one of the largest tank fleets in NATO, with Abrams, K2, and indigenous developments all on the table. The United Kingdom is redesigning its tank arm around Challenger 3. For Italy, remaining on the periphery of this technological wave risks a decline in credibility inside NATO and a reduced ability to stabilize its southern neighborhood. The war in Ukraine reinforced that tanks remain indispensable when integrated into combined arms systems with sensors, counter-UAV measures, electronic warfare, and high-precision artillery support. As a Mediterranean state tasked with both territorial defense and expeditionary duties, Italy needs a tank that can serve across open terrain, urban areas, semi-desert environments, and coastal regions. The KF51 Panther aligns well with the operational philosophy the Italian Army is pursuing for the 2030s. Built around a new generation chassis with substantially enhanced survivability, the Panther integrates modular armor, active protection systems, and sophisticated digital architecture. Depending on how Italy finalizes its configuration, the main gun could be the Rheinmetall 130mm smoothbore or a 120mm L55A1 for logistical simplicity and NATO standardization. Either option represents a major leap in lethality over the Ariete. The fire control system, thermal sensors, and network battle management suite support a hunter-killer and potentially hunter-killer-killer workflow, allowing the crew to identify, prioritize, and engage multiple targets at significantly longer ranges. A defining characteristic of the Panther concept is its integration of unmanned systems. Italy is prioritizing greater sensor coverage and autonomous support in its doctrine, and the Panther's ability to launch small reconnaissance UAVs directly from the turret suits this vision. A future battle group built around the Panther will be able to generate its own reconnaissance data instead of relying exclusively on external assets. This supports Italy's ambition to build a land force in which armored units form a sensor-shooter ecosystem tied together by common digital infrastructure. Industrial and political considerations are just as important as tactical ones. The creation of the Leonardo Rheinmetall military vehicles joint venture reflects Italy's determination to ensure that domestic industry plays a central role in the new armored fleet. With production expected to be at least 60% based in Italy, the program strengthens the national defense industrial base and ensures long-term sovereignty over major subsystems. Italianization will likely include Leonardo electro-optics, locally integrated communication systems, domestic battlefield networking, and potentially Italian active protection suites. Beyond the immediate needs of the Italian Army, the joint venture signals Rome's ambition to become the primary armored vehicle manufacturing hub of southern Europe. This opens the door for exports to Greece, to Croatia, Romania, Bulgaria, and other states seeking alternatives to Franco-German designs. The scale of the Panther program highlights just how ambitious Italy has become. The plan includes around 132 main battle tanks and roughly 140 support variants, ranging from recovery vehicles to engineering platforms. Over €10 billion have been reserved for the initial phases of the tank program, and the broader restructuring of mechanized forces could eventually push the total value of Italy's land modernization towards €30 billion when infantry fighting vehicles and support vehicles are included. Deliveries are expected to begin around 2027 and reach high output rates by 2031. This timeline places Italy among the fastest modernizers in Europe, and it ensures a complete replacement of the Ariete fleet before 2038. The Panther does not stand alone. It is part of a dual modernization track in which Italy also plans to acquire the Lynx KF51 to replace the aging Dardo infantry fighting vehicle. Together, Panther and Lynx create a coherent mechanized ecosystem that did not exist in Italy before. This combination reshapes how the Italian Army will deploy its heavy and medium brigades. When integrated with the Centauro II wheeled gun system, Italy gains a flexible structure capable of operating heavy tracked formations alongside rapid reaction wheeled elements suited for Mediterranean expeditionary missions. Panther-equipped brigades, supported by PZH-2000 artillery, KAMM-ER, air defense systems, and organic UAV detachments, will be fundamentally different formations from today's brigades, relying heavily on digital sensors, long-range precision fires, and protective layers against drones and loitering munitions. Although the Panther program is transformative, it also faces challenges. The financial burden is significant, and Rome will need consistent political discipline to maintain funding over a decade-long acquisition timeline. The KF51 remains a new design with limited operational testing, raising questions about maturity and reliability. The pace of technological change on the battlefield, especially the rapid evolution of UAVs, electronic warfare, and anti-tank guided munitions, means that Italy must ensure continuous upgrades rather than treat the Panther as a fixed capability platform. The long-term implications for the MGCS project also remain uncertain. By choosing the Panther, Italy gains rapid modernization, but risks being less central in shaping the next generation of European tanks expected around 2040. There are also supply chain risks tied to the wider European industrial ecosystem, especially in electronics and power pack components. Despite these concerns, the strategic significance of Italy's move is unmistakable. The Panther is more than a tank. It represents Italy's broader ambition to redefine itself as a central land power in southern Europe. The investment elevates Italy's role inside NATO and improves its ability to stabilize both the eastern and southern flanks of the alliance. It strengthens industrial cooperation with Germany while giving Italy a leading position in the competition for future armored exports. Above all, it signals a return of Italian armored capability after decades of underinvestment. As Italy enters the 2030 decade, the Panther will serve as the core of a mechanized structure that is far more lethal, far more resilient, and far more integrated than anything the Italian Army has operated before. It is an answer to the strategic turbulence of Europe, a tool for deterrence in the Mediterranean, and a symbol of a country that is unwilling to fall behind in an era defined by major power competition. The transformation of Italy's armored forces is now underway, and the KF51 Panther stands at the center of this new chapter.